Okay, so we got some news about Xbox and some leaks, alright? And I've tried to say in the script, but I can't say in the script, so I'm gonna just say how I can. I can't report news like any of these cool YouTubers, right? So I'm gonna say it. So Xbox, right? It was leaking some games. They had some leaks because of the filing versus the FTC and whatever. And so what came about is that Microsoft right now has some crazy wild plans with Xbox. One of the main things they're planning right now is that they're mainly focusing on Game Pass. Right now they're experiencing market saturation with everything going on. And so right now their roadmap is how can we get to 100 million subscribers on Game Pass, which is why Xbox's main focus isn't even the consoles as much, which a lot of people are putting a lot of stock into, okay, the new designs for the consoles. But what Xbox is really trying to market heavy on, and what we're going to see coming from the future, is the new controller that they have. And now a lot of people probably be wondering, why would this controller even, be anything of wonder, or why it makes any sense? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's because of where Xbox is trying to go with the branding of Xbox. See, Xbox is trying to become not only just a gaming console or a platform, it's trying to become essentially the one-stop shop for gaming itself. Basically, if it has a screen, if it has internet, and you can have a game and it has a Xbox controller that can attach to it, then guess what? You can play Xbox games. Right now, as we're seeing the console space to extending all the way to browsers. So Xbox is trying to get on low-end PCs, high-end PCs, Fire sticks, Roku sticks, Chrome browsers. They're literally trying to get it everywhere, which basically is trying to say they're trying to encompass gaming as a whole in itself, which I think is a preemptive strike, so that to try and avoid Amazon, because we all know Amazon is trying to get into cloud gaming, and Amazon has the money and the backing power to basically just dump the bunch of money into cloud gaming. So Xbox is trying to get their head first, and right now with Game Pass, it's experiencing major market saturation. So they're looking at how can we make the most money, because at the end of the day, you gotta realize Xbox is selling the Xbox Series X at a loss. They're not making money selling these consoles. So the main focus on them is to, yes, still sell the consoles to boost the platform, but at the end of the day, Game Pass is the real money making seller here, and this is what they're focused on. Now, this goes into the games. So we have a list of games here that Xbox has planned as part of the Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition. So apparently we had an Oblivion remaster that was supposed to release in financial year 2022, which is actually this year. So it was supposed to release with Starfield, as well as the in-named Indiana Jones game, some Starfield DLC, and this was all supposed to come out this year. In fact, Starfield was supposed to come out last year, but obviously it got delayed. So this, what we're seeing, we don't know how old these filings really are. What it looks like, for my suspicion, is these filings are probably taking place, mid 2020, so maybe right before the pandemic, but right before we knew how bad it really was gonna get. Because this financial year filings go all the way back to 2020, and when you look at the games slated from then to now, we see a lot of even the DLCs that were supposed to say to come out have been pushed almost about a year later. So which is why a lot of people are saying things like Elder Scrolls 6 and Dishonored 3, which was never announced but now we know exist. The games are coming out probably in the year 2025, 2026. So we're yet to see what happens with that. And also, this apparently plans that Elder Scrolls 6, is not coming out on PlayStation 5, which honestly I don't think Elder Scrolls is going to come out to PlayStation anymore. I think Sony literally burnt that bridge with the just constantly battling Microsoft of this. Microsoft was trying to play ball with them, but then again, it is what it is. Personally, I own a PC and a PlayStation, so, hey man, you figure yourself out. Console wars are for brokies, if you ask me. That being said, there's not really, besides that, there's not really much more from this set of leaks, There's some AI stuff, which I think is really interesting. So Microsoft has some plans on, implementing new AI and machine learning tools into their games, which I think could be revolutionary, and I think could aid a lot of their games. And if we saw things like, I don't know, let's say the next Fable game with new AI that was interactive, that had machine learning, and was able to bring a more immersive, responsive feeling to Xbox games, I feel like that would be definitely beneficial for them, especially after acquiring all these large studios to make their first party game titles. That being said, though, one slide that really was really curious for me on this entire leak, sorry, was the watch list. So right now on Microsoft watch list, they say the vision of the controller, which basically is all its features with its wake to sleep and its ability just to connect Bluetooth anywhere and recharge, which, like I said, it's a basic feature. So if I had to explain this, basically the Xbox controller is not gonna get all the functionality of like a PS5 controller, but now more. So basically, now you can use it for probably what I would think is going to be like an Xbox streaming up on Windows. So that's where I think this is headed towards. But for the most part, so far they're saying right now they don't really know, haven't really finished on the development of the controller and all the features they're trying to get into it. Another one that's also being very, very, concerning, that I should think to everybody, is that first party content is still to be confirmed, meaning meaning Microsoft themselves still don't know from the first party studios when the games are coming out, when the games are going to be ready, if the games are running well. I mean, the Starfield right now is a debacle in itself, you know what I mean? Like, personally, I uploaded my first ever gameplay video of it. Please go check it out. I'm learning to love the game, but I'm playing the game on PC, and on PC, I'll say it's a serviceable experience. I wouldn't say it's a bad experience. I think a lot of people are saying Starfield is a horrible game. It's a bad game. It's not a bad game in itself, but I wouldn't say, and to be honest with you, that it's a system seller. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of like Xbox fanboys have gotten into their heads about how good this game is, and have inadvertently end up defending just a game because they feel like, oh, it's coming on the system. And I definitely think it's a response, especially because Sony players are going to be getting Spider-Man 2 in almost, I think it's like 10 days, or no, it's a month from now, sorry. And that is really, really putting a hamper on a lot of people's gaming experience, especially in Microsoft, because I'm just going to be honest with you, a next gen game playing at 30 FPS, like it's not worth it. Everybody knows Bethesda experiences are amazing because of the mods. Everybody loves them because of the mods. The mods fix every Bethesda game. When we talk about games like Skyrim, when we even talk about a game like Oblivion and Fallout 3 being remastered, these games still have a life, still have service, and still have a level of fan base to them because of the modding community. You know what I mean? Like I've already started saying this. Like, Starfield is Game of the Year 2029, bro. Like, I'm just straight up. The 2029 Starfield is going to be one of the best games of all time, just simply because of what we can expect from the modding community. You know what I mean? But as of right now, I'm just not really convinced. And to be honest with you, this leak filing hasn't really bolstered my confidence in Xbox, to be honest with you. The entire focus having been cloud gaming, getting Game Pass to 100 million subscribers, that doesn't really scream, focused on consumer and giving the best games and giving the best gaming experience, because the best gaming experience isn't the ability to play your games anywhere you want. I have an iPhone 14 Pro. That's an amazing phone. I could stream games anywhere. I have a PlayStation 5. I have Steam. I could stream all my games to my phone, but I don't want to play games on my phone. I want to play games on my television. I want to play games on my computer, because those experiences are immersive. That's why people spend hundreds of dollars on these things, heck, thousands of dollars if you're on the PC market, to play these experiences, and to hear the fact that Xbox, isn't focused on just delivering games, isn't focused on delivering even, let's say, better hardware. The hardware they're delivering, listen, more storage for the Xbox, great. You know what I'm saying? A new controller, great. You know what I'm saying? All those things are fine, but they're not necessarily changing the dynamic of the gaming industry. And I think this news is a little more overhyped than than it's meant to be. I think sure the idea of Fallout 3 remastered and the idea of games like Oblivion remastered are very interesting and exciting, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not excited to get old games that if I mod, I'm probably gonna have a better experience playing. You know what I'm saying? Like that I think that's something that's really being left out of this entire, conversation about the Xbox leaks, is that yes, these things are interesting to be seen, but personally for me, I want more out of Xbox. I want more of a focus on, first party content. I want more of a focus on, giving gamers a better experience, not just focusing on cloud gaming, but focusing on how are we going to make gaming more interactive. One thing that's really pissing me off, personally for me, is that I'm seeing all these digital consoles. Okay, I have a PlayStation 5 digital, I have a PC, so obviously I don't have physical games anymore. Literally, like I don't have a single physical game anymore. But something that's really upsetting me is that game prices are getting higher and higher, right? While we are I don't know people realize this, but there are game rights, meaning if you have games digitally, right, that you can only download then, there can become a point where you might not be able to download these games anymore. That is the issue with digital game. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that right, but basically, I don't believe it's right that we lose, all like physical gaming as a medium. You know what I mean? And seeing this trend, seeing where it's going, that okay, yes, games are getting bigger. Yes, games are getting more expansive. Loading all those textures on a disc is becoming more difficult and difficult. I'm sorry, I don't care. You know what I mean? Let's figure out another physical media. Let's figure out a physical way of putting that much storage on a piece of data. If you gotta sell things in SD cards again, freaking do it. Okay? Freaking do it, because honestly, I don't like losing rights to the media I buy. I don't like it, and I just absolutely hate it. It's why PC gaming stays forever, and it's why pirating on PC gaming is still a thing. I think a lot of people think that pirating is just for people who just can't afford games, and forget it. No, a lot of games are pirated because you can't buy them anymore, right? And a lot of these games end up being obsolete. You can put them in, like I think there are plenty of games on the PlayStation Store, on the PS3 that you can never get anymore unless you find a physical copy. So for me, I don't know. I'm just not really confident in the Xbox's direction. Please, let me know what you think of this game. This was a very haphazard news episode. I'm going to try to edit it out, make it sound a little better. But, I really just appreciate you guys for watching. Again, I'm going to try and make better news videos, better content videos. And anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.